get it started and introduce our amazing, beautiful friend Shay. So, if you guys have been here for a while, for at least 6 years, some of you may recognize Shay's name or her face. If you're new, you might not know who Shay is, but Shay is actually one of my best friends. We played volleyball with each other in college and have just obviously remained really great friends since then. And a little background about Shay with the Plexus side of things. So I started taking the products about 6.5 years ago, and Shay actually started pretty soon after me, under me. She was my level one, and I mean, she has a lot of influence, and which is so good, obviously, for Plexus and sharing and starting, to get friends on the journey and things like that as well with you. So she went fast start gold. But Shay just at that time was not in, I won't say she wasn't in the right mindset, but it was her mindset. She was like fearful of really going all in and sharing the products. And if someone decided that they wanted to quit, she took it to heart and she was just like, I just don't think that I can do this. So she stopped sharing and she eventually stopped using the products herself. So that was just a little background there. Well, go to, I don't know when it was. Shay will tell you when it was. It was maybe the beginning of this year, several months ago. I don't know. She'll fill you in on this. But Shay actually started to use I think she actually got the reset randomly one time through me. So she did the reset. And then after that, she started using the products again, but she actually ordered under the website. And I'm going to let her explain that part of it. I won't go into detail, but she ordered from the website. She fell back in love with the products. But in between this time, like a year or so ago, her good friend Kendra, who she was actually friends with before me, and they're from the same area, she was selling the products. So that's why Shay ordered through the website. She's like, I don't know who to go with. I don't know what to do. So she messaged me and she was like, I want to start again. And I think I want the business. I'm in the same area as Kendra. Like, I think I want to start sharing again. And I'm like, great. Like, I was so happy that she was one, using the products again and loving them, and that she was interested in the business. And we're great friends. Like, it was not going to cause any issues, no problems. I was just happy for her, and she was happy to get started. And things completely changed for Shay and her mindset, and she went fast start senior Ruby. So I wanted her to come on here and talk to you guys just a little bit about her journey completely, where she was 6 years ago, where she is now, and just the difference in her and just everything. So anyway, Shay, if you want to hop on here and take it over, we can't wait to hear from you.
Thank you, Heather. First off, I'm going to warn everybody. I have 9-year-old twin daughters, and they're like right in the next room. So I can't promise what you might or might not hear. And it is just the evening and the witching hour, as we all know it. So I hope you all are ready because I can talk for a really long time. And I told Heather, I was like, how much time do I have? Because I've got notes, pages. There's so many things I want to say. So like Heather said, 6 or 7 years ago when she started, I was like, what's going on? What products are you using? What are they all about? And Heather nailed it. I was not in the right mindset for anything. I was not in the right mindset to use the products. I was not in the right mindset to share the products. I've always been the type of person that is scared about what everybody thinks. Always. And I can be totally fine to admit that. So when Andrea and Heather were giving me like, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. And I was just like, holy cow, I can't do this. I can't breathe. Like, I'm going to have a panic attack. So and so might have an opinion of me. All the things that we all think and are so natural. So again, 9-year-old twins, let's go to that. I am not quiet about how hard it was to have twins. Mothering did not come natural to me. I struggled hard with postpartum, and my kids are 9 and I still think I am. So If you're out there and you're struggling postpartum, it is really my platform and what I love to talk about. Um, so I was kind of still really in that stage too, just a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. And I honestly just wasn't willing to listen to the coaching because I was like, this can't happen. You guys are crazy. Like, Heather, I don't know how you're doing it. Andrea, I don't know how you're doing it, but I quit. I'm done. So I did. I quit. And honestly, I didn't take the time to understand the importance of the supplements. I did not take the time to understand. And about 4 or 5 years ago, probably longer because I lose track of time, I took on a new journey of being a personal trainer and nutritionist. So I started in a gym. I became a personal trainer. I was around people who really loved on me and fed me and really built my confidence up about the things that I am good at and I can do. And that kind of rolled into a new job. So I 3 years ago rolled into a job. I'm called a wellness operations manager. It's a fancy title for running multiple health and wellness centers and athletic trainers. But that brought on a lot of stress, a whole lot of stress and a lot of pressure and a lot of talking in front of people like I'm doing now, but I still get really nervous. Heather was like, "Are you nervous?" And I was like, "Yes." I am like a monkey on crack, is what I said, because before I have to talk in front of people, I just pace and do all the things. So, my health really started struggling, even though I was a nutritionist and a personal trainer, and I worked in a health and wellness center. I was experiencing this fatigue that I can only describe as first trimester of pregnancy fatigue, and I couldn't be pregnant. It was no chance because I made sure there was no chance of that after twins, like no chance. I was taking naps, I was bloated, inflamed, and I didn't even realize it till I did a before and after picture. Gaining weight, and I was like, "What in the world? Like, what is going on?" So I started seeing a endocrinologist and a hematologist. They were like, "You're fine, nothing's wrong with you," which is awesome. But I was still really frustrated because I was like, something's not right. So, like Heather said, our other friend Kendra was posting, but I did. I was like, I'm going to just order off the website. I'm just going to do it. I know a little bit about it. I just want to try it myself, which I don't recommend because what's really awesome is we coach people through the things. We know that, right? And 3 months in, I was like, oh, okay, this gut health thing, there's really something to it. All these people making these posts, there is something to it. And I'm embarrassed to admit, like I said, how little I knew about gut health in, my profession. I just didn't take the time to research it and understand it. But about 60 days in, I was so committed this time around. 60 days in, I was like, holy cow, here I am. I am back. I'm doing my workouts. I'm wanting to eat right. My bloat is gone. I'm sleeping better. Things I didn't even know I was struggling with. And then I saw Kendra post about a cruise. And I was like, okay, Heather was doing it. Now Kendra's doing it. What? How? Why couldn't I do it? Why couldn't I do it? So I reached out to Kendra, and she was actually on the cruise. I was like, how are you on that cruise? I need to know right now. I said, I didn't tell you. I haven't told Heather. I've actually been using the products for 3 months under who knows who. I don't know. And I love them. And I want to know how you're doing it. And she told me. She hooked me up with her person. And I was like, well, I can't move forward until I talk to Heather because I was very conflicted. It was one of the hardest decisions I had to make. But it did make sense because Kendra's down here and I thought we could really make something together with the people that we knew. So I got Heather's blessing before I moved on, just so you all know that. I reached out, I got Heather's blessing. Because I did, I told my friend Kendra, I was like, I will not move forward unless this is okay with Heather. And being as amazing as Heather is, if you know her, she was like, absolutely, you do what you have to do. And I just took a big deep breath and I was like, this must be meant to be. I need to do this. But I still was reluctant for just a little bit. So the person that Kendra is under, who helped me get started too, told me to do all the things that Heather and Andrea told me to do. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. And even Emily to this day tells people, she's like, I messaged, my diamond, and I was like, we're gonna have to go easy on this girl. But I don't know what happened, guys. I had to come to Jesus with myself. I was so tired of seeing all these other people succeed. That sounded bad. I'm always happy for people to succeed, but I was like, why can't I do that? What is different? Why am I not doing the things? Well, that's exactly the answer. I was not doing the things. Was not doing the things at all. And I slept on it, and I woke up 24 hours less than. I got in my chat. I said, scratch everything I said. Tell me what to do. I'm going to do it. And from that point forward, I truly have just decided that I do not care what people think of me anymore. It's so true that people's opinions of us are not our business. And if people don't know who I am and who you are, right? You're here for a reason. You're here because these products helped you. You know your heart. You know that you're in it for the right reasons, and you're just wanting to share to help people, and people don't pay your bills. Yeah. Nobody pays your bills but yourself. So why in the world would I let the possible maybe opinion of somebody affect the products I take and affect the money I can make for myself and my family? And don't let me fool you. I still have to tell myself that every day. There are still times I go to post something, I close my eyes, I hold my breath, and I do it. And I think I have to talk to myself. So just because I'm telling you all this so confidently doesn't mean I still don't have those moments, because I do every single day. But I was so sick of being the what if person and living in that world. And is every day just, perfect? Everyone's buying? No. We all go through the ebbs and flows of this business, just like anything in life. Anything in life, right? I have people that quit every day, just as you all do. But that doesn't mean you quit sharing, and that doesn't mean you don't help the next person. So I think the biggest thing I can say is, again, take the risk, do the things that your mentors are telling you. It might sound crazy and it might just sound off the wall, but there's a reason they're where they are, right? Heather's been doing it for 6-7 years. Andrea's been doing it for how long? There is a reason that they're where they are, and they're saying the things that they are. If you have to close your eyes and do it, just do it, right? And you're always going to have those people who are going to be the pessimistic patties. It's going to happen. I used to be one of them. You can't let them affect you and what's going to help you and move you forward to your goals. And all I can say is quit letting yourself down. Like I said, for years, I let myself down. I would always say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to run a half marathon. None of it ever happened because I wasn't committed to myself. So if you're on this call tonight, you're committed to yourself and you've already taken that step, and keep taking those steps, because when you start helping people and building a team and seeing what you're doing for your family, feeling that sense of just staying committed to yourself is undescribable. And that's really all I have to say.
Thanks, Shay. I do have a question.
Yeah.
When did you start sharing this second time?
So I ordered off the site for like 3 months, and it was actually a year ago this month I started sharing.
Okay. And how many months did it take for you to get to Senior Ruby? Do you remember?
September, October, 5 months.
5 months. So I just wanted to say that because I want you guys to just see, if you literally get razor focused. And yes, we're all at some point still going to think about what someone thinks about us. I mean, it's just in our nature, I feel like. But it's what you do with that thought that can change everything. If you are like, okay, yes, I'm nervous to make this post, but I'm going to close my eyes and I'm just going to hit post. Like, and you do it, and you don't want to message that person about the business. You don't want to post about the cruise. Like, if you don't want to do those things, but you do it anyway and you keep doing it. You keep showing up for yourself and your family. Like, just look at like what can happen. 'Cause like I said, Shay went fast start gold like 6 years ago. And then she was just like I said, she just wasn't in the right mindset to continue to go and get past maybe the objections that people were giving her or, whatever that may be. So she's like, I just can't do this. And she slowly just like backed off and then she quit. But this time around, she completely switched her mindset and that shift. And she was like, you know what? I'm just going to do the dang thing and I'm going to keep doing it. And she has. So it's been, like she said, it's been a year now since she's been sharing. And Shay is still extremely, extremely consistent with posting, with getting in her stories. Like, I'm sure she's probably uncomfortable doing live videos and reels, but she does them all the time because she knows, like, Shay knows what she has, right, Shay? You know what you have, you know what they can do for other people's health, you know what they can do for their finances. So you keep doing it. Um, and I feel like that is just so important because we are always saying like our mindset, literally, I feel like is what makes or breaks someone in the business.
Yep.
What you think of yourself and what you let other people think about you and control your thoughts and control your actions. I literally feel like that is what sets people apart from whether they continue to grow or whether they just halt, is that mindset and what they believe in themselves. And then something else too that I wanted to bring up is just Shay and I, we live almost 2 hours apart. We aren't from the same area, but we obviously have a lot of the same friends. And there's even other people kind of in the area ish of Shay that aren't on her team that sell Plexus as well. And I just feel like sometimes, not for you guys on the Zoom necessarily, but maybe you'll get this from someone or their objection is one, I'm from a small town. I don't know anyone. Like, I can't build a team, or I already know someone in the area who's using and selling the products. Like, Shay is proof that one, we can be from small towns. Shay and I are both from a small town. And we know a lot of the same people, but Shay went fast start senior Ruby with us knowing a lot of the same people. Like, you can know other people sharing the products or be from a small town and still have success. um you both can, even
Yep.
if there's three people, like, you can still do that. um so that's just something that I wanted to add as well, because I feel like that is something that we kind of hear sometimes. But I just wanted to open it up. Does anybody have any questions for Shay?
Can I say just a couple more things? Because you
Yep.
got, first off, the consistency, right? It's a literally just like anything else, working out, eating right. I mean, I don't know, whatever. It's consistency because people are seeing that every day. And you've got people who either are seeing it and they're keeping it, or they're the people that are annoyed, but eventually they're going to reach out. When I was going senior Ruby, I literally made one last ditch effort. I think I needed like 5 more people or something. I made a post, and I kid you not, people that I had reached out to, people who I had been talking to finally said, okay, what I give, like I give, I'm done. If you, it will eventually happen. So the consistency is huge. And I hate going live. I do not like it. I lose my words. All the things. But when you feel do it when you feel really pulled and emotional for something, right? When you're feeling something right then and there, do it, because then it just comes out much more naturally. And the small town thing, I don't even know if I can explain how small this town is and how many people sell plexus in this town, but we all know people outside of here, and it's all about connection, right? Somebody might have a different connection with me than they do Kendra or Heather or whoever it may be. So don't ever let that discourage you. And then I had one more thing, but I forget what it is. Okay, that's it until I remember.
Shay, Callie asked a question. It says, what was your biggest shift in going from gold to senior gold and beyond? I'm coming up on a year at this rank, but the mindset has been there.
Okay, that. Thank you, Callie, because that just made me remember something. So, um, my biggest. Let me read that again. I have to read it again. Let me go into the chat so I can see. So What was your biggest shift from going from gold to senior gold? I think honestly, being more consistent with my posts because that I struggled with that at first. Shifting my focus from selling the product to building a team. Not that you don't want to sell the product, but I had to pour into the few business builders I had. So that could make my business bigger, obviously. So I had to shift from, have you heard of the pink drink, to have you heard of the business, or my 3 or 4 business builders, hey, let's have a wellness event for you tonight. We're going to get your 4 and really build into them and build their confidence. So beyond gold, I think your biggest shift is pouring into your team and finding business builders and giving them the confidence that your mentor gave you. And that's really hard. But I think the coaching aspect is much harder than adding VIPs. 100%, because it's building, you're now trying to instill and build the belief in them. And we all know how Heather felt with me, and it's hard. It's very hard, but that would be the biggest thing. And I also want to say, yes, I did go senior Ruby, and it's not been all just glamorous since then, right? I mean, I've had setbacks and I've been trying to go emerald, and you're going to have that. It's not always going to be easy going, fast start, the whole way through. It's not going to, it's not always going to happen, but you just have to remember why you're there and just remind yourself to live that commitment to yourself.
Shaye, go ahead, Andrea.
I'm like, wait, I have a question. Shaye, this is so good. When you're like, I'm going to stop. I'm like, no, why? I was just getting into it. I was like, what else is she going to say? Tell me all the things.
Listen, we can go all night. You're going to hear dogs barking and kids screaming, but it's fine.
We don't care. I don't care. We all have kids. My kids come in all the time. But okay, so you made such a good point, because we do have people who went fast start gold, fast start this, that, and the other. And when you go fast, you think that is how it's supposed to be every single month after that. You're like, whoa, I just brought 20 people in. Whoa, the next month I just did 17 people and this person. And then it's like you hit that like wall where you now have to switch your mindset into really digging in and learning the skills that you didn't learn when you were going fast. Because when you're going fast, you don't have time to learn how to connect with people. You don't have time to learn how to really post for your audience, like all that. Can you explain or can you tell us how you went from the mindset of like, okay, like we're going, because I also went like fast start gold, and then I ranked every single month up until senior ruby. And when I hit senior ruby, that was my, like, I was consecutive, like silver, seniors, or we didn't have senior silver back then, but gold, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby. And then when I hit senior ruby, it was like screech, like you have not learned anything to actually continue to go on to the 6-figure mark of like emerald and stuff. So I really had to pull back. And sometimes they say like, you have to slow down to speed up. And I really try to preach that to my team, because it's so true. Everything can't be an instant. You can't send 10 messages and expect to get 10 responses. And so tell me how you switch from how you were posting to how you're posting now, because obviously you have to kind of rewarm your market up, fill your funnel. Can you explain like what that looked like for you?
You're asking the good things. You're actually speaking to my soul right now, because I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like, yeah, we're talking about all my success, but I've hit a wall right now. And I go into my, my leaders every day, and I'm like, I'm failing, what am I doing wrong? But like Andrea said, like you can't go fast all the time. And I didn't learn all those things. And it was now it's constantly reminding myself of my why. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why do I plan on doing this forever? And I cannot forget that, because if I do, then I will stop, right? I have to remind myself of those wins to keep going forward. And then I have to remember I have built a team, right? And they're depending on me. They're depending on me to help them. But it was a screech. It was oh my gosh, I have 5 business builders and I've told them nothing. What do I tell them? And that was the biggest mind shift was, okay, I've got these 5 business builders. I need to pour into them and I need to make sure they're doing all the things with their customers so their business is successful too. Where before, like you said, it was just 100 miles an hour, adding people here and there. Oh, hey, I have 3 friends. Cool. Let's add them. You're silver. Bing, bang, boom. So it's just constantly reminding yourself why. Changing your social media to just living and not be a plexus robot. Do not be a plexus robot, which I have to remind myself. Be human. Be human. Share the wins, but share the fails in your life, plexus and all, because people want to form a connection and they want to know that you're not trying to be something you're not. And even though we're all feeling better on these products and, we're trying to build successful businesses or we have them, life still hits and people need something to relate to other than I love my pink drink.
I love that. Shaye, I have a question since you did mention this. You're talking about how you were growing from senior or from gold to senior gold. And how do you feel like you do with bringing up the business? Because I feel like from what I know and have talked with you and seen and things like that, that you get people to share. Um, so you're obviously asking the questions, either talking about the business or you're asking them to share. And I feel like that's sometimes like that tough spot where people struggle, like they feel really confident and good about talking about the products, but maybe not about asking about the post or the business or things like that. So do you feel like that is what helped you as well? And basically you were duplicating, not just adding level ones, that you were asking your friends to share right away or bringing up the business, like just
Yes.
anything with that you have to share?
So that was a hard shift for me, the business, because talking about money is hard. But oh my gosh, it's 2024 and Heather just spent $30 at Chick-fil-A. Like, we need money. People need to talk about money more. And so I definitely alter my posture, if that makes sense. Like I make sure I've gotten to know the person, I understand some of their struggles. I will definitely, as soon as they order, say, hey, we have an amazing referral program. I'd love to help you leverage it. Here are your options. Um, and if they're like, no, I'm not really interested, I'll say, hey, will you just give me a shout out? And I always tell people too, it's like referring somebody to your favorite restaurant, except you're actually getting cash for it. So all those times where I'm like, hey, if you're down this way, you need to eat at the river. Heather's the only person that's going to know that. If I don't know who else is on here, maybe Kylie is, and she would know that. But I'm going to get paid for it. And so why not? Why, I always try to present it to them like, why not? And yeah, you can go get these similar products other places, similar. Why would you not want to support somebody that you know rather than Alani or whoever the heck runs Alani or whatever? Not bashing Alani. I don't mean that, but I'm just saying, like, I could go into GNC and buy some products, but why not help somebody that you know? And I can guarantee you, obviously, the quality of these products are much better. But the business was hard. So I definitely make sure I know who I'm talking to. And I either ask them to just make a post to shout out. I ask them to go grab I say, hey, if you were to ask 3 of your best friends right now to go to dinner, who would they be? Okay, cool. Ask them to try these gut health products with you because people are way more successful with somebody than just doing it on their own. So I'm always like, grab the 3 or 4 people that when you have something great to tell, who are they? Call them. Cool. They're going to want to hear about these gut health products. So, and sometimes I have a lot of times people will make the post and then I don't hear ever again from them. I mean, you're going to get ghosted. You're going to get people that are like, my subscription rate, and you told me it wouldn't, even though you told them 10 times it was going, you're going to have the net negative, guys. And you just have to work through that just like you do in everything in your life.
Yes, and I'm sure, guys, all of this sounds very familiar, right? See, like, just do it. Just be confident. And I can just tell just from you saying that, Shay, like that is literally what makes the difference is going into it confidently because like we said, they can either say yes or they can say no or they just won't say anything, but they have three choices and you just never know. I was just talking with someone yesterday and she was like, they said they want to wait a couple weeks until they see results. And I'm like, okay, but this is why you should see if they want to share now and just try to overcome that objection. Somebody new sharing and they did. And she was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So when
Mhm.
you approach it with that confidence, and let's just be real, they're new. They're new to the products, they're new to sharing. They don't know. They don't know how it works. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. And that's just like honestly the easy way is, well, let's just wait. So it's how you like approach it. And if you don't ask, they're not going to share. But if you ask them, you at least have a percentage of a chance that they're gonna say yes. Um, but too, I believe when I was looking at the comments,
What did you just
Brianna, did you have a
Yeah.
question, Brianna?
oh,
Yeah.
great.
So I heard you say at the beginning that you were not confident with like the products or like anything related to that. So I feel like a lot of the girls like really struggle with what to recommend and they get so hung up on like finding the perfect
Mm.
pack. So that I felt like maybe you would relate to that, to picking out like or recommending products, like
Yeah.
what combo pack or whatever.
So, first off, I think we have to slow down our approach and make sure we're getting to know the person we're trying to sell to, right? So, at first, I remember I was like, "Hey, what are your health goals? Health goals, cool. Here, drink the pink drink." I didn't take the time to build the relationship and build the connection. So, first off, slow your roll when you're starting a chat with somebody, ask them questions, ask them what they do every day, ask them what their lifestyle's like, ask them about their kids, get to know them, dig a little deeper. And I do think it is hard sometimes to suggest a product, but I always go back to, we have a ton of products, but you're never going to go wrong if you just start with the triplex, because that is the ultimate gut health combo, and I go through all of that and what that means. And then once we start to see results and feel results from that, then we can add things to that, because you mean the triplex is what is going to give us that ultimate healing. It truly is. And then you can build on that and use other products, but you can never ever go wrong with just recommending the triplex. So don't get hung up on that, but then on the flip side, make sure you are spending the time to try to get to know them at least, and what maybe their ailments are, or what their goals are and struggling with, and what their daily life looks like, and find a common ground with them. I hope that answered your question. I saw another one. Heidi, what do you do if someone makes a post but then doesn't respond to that? Do you reach out to the people who like the post? Okay. So do you mean like if somebody makes like, I'm trying these gut health products, try them with me? Is that what you're talking about, Heidi?
I don't, I think she has her camera off, but I think, yes, she means so you get your level one to make a post for you, and then they don't do the following up with the people who are interested or something like that. I'm assuming that's probably what Heidi means. Do
Okay.
you then go ahead and reach out to those people who were interested?
Oh, yeah, for sure. If I see people liking and commenting on someone's posts and that level one has decided I'm not doing this, yeah, 100%. It's all fair game then. Like, I'm going to go, I'm going to reach out. And that happens a lot. That happens all the time. We have people that are like all in and then they're just gone, crickets. And that, they're not meant to be on your team. They're not, and it's not their time, and you can't beg people to come with you, and they have to be ready to do it. And I'm preaching to myself right now, honestly, because I have similar situations that are happening right now, and you know, either they want it or they don't, and you can't want it for them. You can, but you can't make them do it.
Oh my gosh, amen. They gotta want it for themselves. That's again back to where the mindset comes in. But and like what Heidi or anyone else maybe who is like, hesitant or asking that same question about commenting, if somebody comments and they want more information, I always approach it as those people are asking for help. And they commented on that post for a reason, and that basically like opened the door for them to be messaged. So if the friend who you got to post isn't going to check in with them, then you're going to be that supportive person for them, and offer that support and make the recommendations and things like that. So someone did say they ask if you friend request them. Um, I don't know if you do, Shay. I know sometimes they might not see it, but I'm assuming you probably just maybe put a comment back or
Yeah.
something saying you're going to message them. But
I mean, I've done it all. I don't think I have like a pattern. I do whatever I have to do to get in touch with them. So maybe all three,
yeah.
whatever it takes. Yeah. And well, mom brain, I just lost it.
That's fine. Does anybody else have any questions? Let's see. Do you message people who like the post?
Yes. Anybody that interacts or shows any interest, yes. Yeah.
You guys, it sounds very familiar to what we do,
Mhm.
huh?
Again, that's where the confidence comes in. Shay's confidence, yes. I
I
know Shay before she was like not necessarily confident with sharing, but now she is, and I
yeah.
love it.
This is a
Again,
completely different person, you guys. Like truly it is. And I love it. It's like the best. But go ahead. I'm just so proud of you.
thank you. I just like I said, I just think the biggest thing is just doing it for yourself and the commitment, guys, because I like I said, I went years of just watching people do things and be successful, and I was like, why can't I do that? Why? Well, it was because of me. It was myself, right? I had all the tools and I had all the people trying to help me, but it was just my lack of confidence and just too much caring of what other people might think. And I know you're like, you've said that 10 times, but it's just, I'm just over that. And I hope you guys all are too. This is too good of an opportunity to pass up. Um, one, the community that's here, and that's the thought. That's what, there it is, guys. That's what it is, the community. When I took on this new job that I currently am in, I kind of lost that. And I stumbled upon doing this again in a community that I didn't even realize I needed. And it's so much more than a business. It's women, mostly, there's men too, but mostly women, supporting each other, cheering each other on, wanting the success. And you don't get that very often in this world. So don't let it go just because you might have a bad day or a couple months of bad business. Because everything you're doing is building blocks to something. And just, you have to really believe that.
Okay, so I just want to say I want to piggyback off of that because it's really easy to quit whenever you're having a hard
So,
time in your business. It's so easy to fill your mind with all the reasons why this isn't working. And when you do that, you stop showing up and you stop putting in the work because you are telling yourself this isn't working. But what is really happening is you're not actually doing all the things for it to work, right? And I love that. And I especially just want to highlight when you said, like I have to remember why I'm doing this. And I think our whys are really important. If you have a weak why, you're not going to show up 100%. Like it's not going to get you what we used to say, like out of bed. It's not going to keep you staying up past your kids going to bed to, send those extra 5 messages that you promised yourself. It's not going to get you to like buckle down and say, okay, how do I need to change my post? Like I know, like you said, I'm a Plexus robot right now. How do I change my posting? You're not evaluating what you need to do in your business. You're still just flying blind and you're just doing what you did, to get to see, or I'm just using it as an example. You're just doing what you did to get to senior ruby, and what you did to get to senior ruby is not going to be what's going to get you to emerald and diamond sapphire. So it's like, that's like the message that I honestly feel like a lot of people need to hear just in the community is like, whatever got you to where you are right now, you can't continue to do because you are trying to reach a new level of success in your business. So you have to level up differently and do things differently. If you hate going live, you got to go live. If you hate asking for the ask of the business, you got to do that. Like if you're not doing those things and you're wondering why you're not having business builders, why you're not adding people, why you're not seeing your team duplicate, it's because you're simply avoiding the things that need to be done. And I love that. Just having your why at the forefront, and just like you said, constantly like having a conversation with yourself, like, hey, I am scared to post this. Hey, I do care what people think, but I don't care. I'm going to do it anyways. Because when you talk yourself through things, you're going to like reason with yourself most of the time. That's like, okay, like I'm not living for other people. And like you said, like look at Shay now. Like Shay, when she was on our team, was terrified of what other people thought, and it literally paralyzed her from going forward. But look at, like, Heather and I like talked, like, look at all the potential that was hiding under that person that was so scared of what people thought, or who doubted herself that she couldn't do this, right? And it's all about timing. It really is all about timing. It's all about timing on Shay's end of like finding her groove back, taking the products again, really leaning into that, finding her friend that was doing this, and igniting that thing. And so I want that goes on both ways. So that goes with the people that you're talking to. I know, of course, in a perfect world, everybody wants that one person to sign up, and they get frustrated when maybe that conversation kind of dies off or whatever it may be. But it's not our time, it's their time. And when they're ready, you still want to be that Plexus girl that is going to be there when they are ready, because you are still following up, you are still inviting them to opportunity Zooms and doing all the things. So this was honestly amazing. Like and obviously if you guys have more questions, but we don't want to take up too much more of your time, but like, this was amazing, Shay. I'm so proud of you. And I feel like so many people can relate, and just like to look at someone else who is not on our team, because I'm sure, we train and we teach on the same things that you were saying, but it's so nice to hear it from someone else that's like, hey, like, yes, I went fast start senior Ruby, and right now my business is in a place where I need you're building those bricks, you're stacking them one on top of the other, and it's like it's a normal process. Every single person goes through that process of like, you can't go fast all the time or you will not have a sustainable business. And when you decide to like lean in and learn those things that create that legacy business, it's gonna be fine. And I remember, I cannot remember, oh, it was oh my gosh, what is her, Summer Godfrey, I think she spoke at convention like 2 years ago, and she was like saying that I gotta find her testimony, I will literally send it to everybody. It is amazing. She was saying that she was stuck at gold forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and she was talking to, oh my gosh, what's her, I mean, she's a diamond, I can't remember her name. And she was like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And she had a team full of people that were dead fish in the water, and she was just dragging them along. And she was like, her, who is her upline? Robin, what's her name? Robin, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Sullivan.
Robin Sullivan. Yes. She was like, you need to release these people. Like, you have got to release these people because you are consumed with everybody that is not showing up. Right. And so she was like, I did that. Like, I finally cut the cords. My points went back. I think she was senior gold. My points went back. But then in like 6 months, she went emerald. You guys, like, she cut the dead weight, leaned into her business, and she was like, I kept reminding myself of my why I was here. And I knew I wanted to be emerald. Like, I already bought my like green jumpsuit for stage, like for the next year. And she was on stage in that green jumpsuit. Like, it was insane, because it's just like we spend so much time dragging people along, and there's like a fine line of like someone who really wants it, that's going through a difficult time, than someone who continues just to use their words and no action. And you have to make that decision, and it's okay to cut people and say, hey, like, when you're ready, I'm here. But you also have to do things for your business, because it is a business and it is a way to provide for your family. So anyways, that was
I also like, I evaluate weekly who wants to be poured into, right? Like you're saying, you have to put you have to put your energy into the people that want it. And then our team has been doing a lot of this, the reflection that you were just talking about. At the end of the day, your job is to help your team members, build their teams, but it is your business. And you can only pull them for so long, like you were saying, and then you do have to refocus and say, okay, I've done what I can do for them. They're either responding or they're not. Now what can I do for myself?
funny. That's like Oprah. I
Oh,
love it. I love
and yeah. So we've actually been doing a lot of that the same conversation. because we've all been kind of dragging some people in, and I can't do that anymore. So
it definitely is not life-giving at all, and it does not bring energy to your team or yourself. And so it truly is okay to look at your business and say, like, what can I do for myself? Like, you're not selfish. You know what I mean? And it's like you said, like, either they want it or they don't.
yep.
And you can, it's not a lack of effort on your part, especially when you're messaging them, giving them examples, showing them how to post, like doing all these things. It's like, you can only exhaust so many outlets. And so, this was awesome. And does anybody else have any questions before we wrap it up?
I could listen to you all night.
I know, she's really good.
I just,
Gosh, no, I was like, when Heather messaged me, I was like, what? What is
I just want to say too that Shaye, I love you and I appreciate you so much for being on here. Shaye, I believe, if I remember right, is missing her own team call tonight. That way she can be on here. So.
It's fine because I mean, I owe a lot. I owe just about everything to Heather, and I still feel guilty. I still feel guilty, but it makes sense. But I would do anything for Heather to help her. So,
Oh, you're so sweet.
We love you. And I mean, listen, but it's a good example though. Don't stop posting because you never know who you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never
Kendra
know.
probably would have never thought because I don't know if she knew Shaye used the products in the past or not because she didn't use them that long, but still, like,
yeah,
you never know.
Yeah, you never know. And we're so proud of you and we love to watch you. And it's just, yeah, I'm gonna have everybody go follow you. And
gosh, well, thank you. I appreciate your guys' time and listening to me just ramble on. So,
well, Emerald is soon. You're gonna be wherever the heck we're going to Alaska. Yeah, where you're gonna be on that boat with us.
we're working hard.
You're going to, along with a bunch of other faces you see on here. These girls are working really hard too. So
Guys, keep
yes.
showing up. That's all I can say. Even on the nights you don't want to, and you're like, I don't need another team call. I don't need another. Yeah, you do, because this right here has fed me for the week, and it feeds me in all the areas of my life, not just plexus. And I mean that. Like, I'll get up in the morning for my job and I'll be like, I am ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, that's how I feel every time I get off team call. I'm like, I can't go to sleep until like 2 hours pass because I'm just like, it's like, it really is life-giving when you lean into these things that we offer and that Plexus offers. So
Life's hard. So like I said, lean into the community because life is hard.
it really is. Well, thank you so much, Shaye. We love you so much and we appreciate your time. We really do.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.